What happens to Bitcoin and the crypto market, in your opinion, over the next 12 months? And we've got the Bitcoin ETF, we got the Ethereum ETF, we just had Bitcoin Nashville.
Yep.
You know, former president spoke, most likely
Yep.
the next president, Bobby Kennedy's there. Senator Loomis proposes 1 million Bitcoin strategic reserve.
Yeah.
I mean, you're there in the middle of it, the biggest one ever. How are you feeling? Like, what do you think happens next? And how is the vibe? And then how does that relate back to Bitlayer?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking. I was personally there and I really, really enjoyed the conference. We had a booth, Bitlayer, I was on the stage, really, great honor to speak with a lot of Bitcoin OGs, meet people in person. And obviously that was part of history. We literally was witnessing history and maybe contributing a part of the history on that by seeing potential future president of the United States, give a big speech about all these announcements, future reserve for United States. So instead of get rid of all the 200,000 Bitcoin, they probably just hold it for long term, right? Even purchase more, which is a massive bull signal. And even the senators, the congressmen, the U.S. House of Representatives, a lot of key political figures were kind of promoting Bitcoin. So the people on the stage are all talking about the good things of Bitcoin, right? So that was really, really interesting vibe. And I think in general, we can summarize in a way, Bitcoin hitting to this level, the industry grow to this level that even the major political figures needs Bitcoin into part of their strategy, no matter it's election or business and so on, right? I was also in the enterprise stage seeing a lot of major S&P, Fortune 500 companies, like the CFO, the CEOs, talking about their upcoming Bitcoin strategy. Either it's Bitcoin mining or treating Bitcoin assets as part of their treasury management as alternative assets, all the other things.
Or accepting Bitcoin from their customers.
As customers for payments and so on, right? So I gave me this vibe of 2021 when all the major companies, including Facebook, in changing their name to Meta, everybody talk about metaverse strategy. This cycle, everybody start talking about Bitcoin strategy. It's very important, and it's not just politically right, it's just business important, right? For business side, in the business side, you need to figure out a Bitcoin strategy one way or the other. You don't miss the trend, right? Treating Bitcoin as an important asset, potentially even more important than the gold, right? And then you maybe put some of that into your balance sheet, categorize it into a payment gateway, or maybe tap into the ecosystem, building things on Bitcoin. Michael Saylor said that, Franklin Templeton investing in us and also tapping into this field. All these are kind of happening. So I would say 2 years ago, I would never imagine that. It was all just in front of me doing Bitcoin Nashville, which was great. And I think more importantly, it was just, as I said, the builder culture back. There was so many developers and technical savvy engineers having all these events, side events, doing, sharing what they've been doing, building on stage. That's very important because we only saw that in Ethereum community, Ethereum DevCon, maybe on Solana, some of the hacker house and stuff. It didn't really happen in Bitcoin. It was essentially all just miners talking about how much Bitcoin you can mine, why your miners actually have the cost benefiting aspects, right? And how many megawatts. That was their topic. That's it, right? We still have a very big portion of the miners in their booth. I had a good conversation with Marathon, which is a huge company, one of the biggest one in the Bitcoin space in the United States. They are a public listed company. They even think about trying to build a Bitcoin sidechain. They had a VIP dinner with us. We co-host together. We're being generally talking to them. And also Foundry and a few others as well. They are looking at the Bitcoin programmability layer as an interesting way for them to tap into new futures. So I think that's important for them even to consider their Bitcoin strategy, the new way of Bitcoin strategy, not just Bitcoin mining. Yeah.
What'd you make of Michael Saylor's speech and his strategy to just keep amassing Bitcoin and his concept that this is the only digital asset and it outlasts every other asset by multiple orders of magnitude? Also, you saw Dylan LeClaire, who I met at the Satoshi Roundtable. I think you were there as well. And he's now working with a Japanese company, and they're doing a similar strategy at a smaller scale, buying up Bitcoin and watching the price go up of the equity.
Yeah.
What do you make of, are there more companies out there that are just going to start loading it up on their balance sheet?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, from on the government side, what I heard, Korean government is working on that for Korean ETF. Australia already have that. Hong Kong already have that approved, right? So I think the rest of the world outside of the United States actually kind of following up on that. We probably will see some ETF approved from Middle East countries like Saudi Arabia, maybe Bahrain, or maybe Abu Dhabi, right, in the UAE as well. So that's pretty exciting. And I had a good conversation with Dr. Marwan, right? They are kind of see something kind of working on that with some lobby and so on. With companies, I think it's going to be just more and more, as I said. Bitcoin strategy is going to be the strategy for them to figure out in Web3 space. Michael Saylor is definitely leading that as a huge leader, right? With MicroStrategy buying more and more Bitcoin. She just keeps sizing up. I think he had one of the best speech talking about Bitcoin in terms of history and the future, right?
Yeah.
He is definitely super bullish still. Yeah.
What'd you make of his speech and the way he looks at it as an asset that has a 10,000 year life, and the way that he compares it to alternative assets like property and stocks and how those are really nothing.
That's a good comment. There's another person I want to mention. It's probably you know him as well. His name is Grant Cardone. He was a very famous. He's a famous YouTuber with 2 million followers, right?
Yeah.
He was selling property for many years, right? Make a big business on that and a big investment. He was on the stage in the whale session. He mentioned, I don't know if that's true or not, because we can't really verify. He said almost 80% of his personal wealth are in Bitcoin right now.
That's Gary Cardone, which is Grant's twin brother.
Gary Cardone, yeah.
Yeah,
Gary.
so his twin brother is Grant Cardone that owns the billions of real estate, but that's Gary, his twin brother.
So he doesn't own real estate.
He doesn't own the real estate that his brother Grant does, but he does have a lot of assets in crypto.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising, huh?
Yeah.
So when we talk about like real estate, business people or TradeFi people, like a lot of them actually own the majority of crypto now. Yeah.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.